Good doing, everybody? We got episode 66. Gonna do a little prelude before we get into the session tonight. Some of the session was not recorded, so I'm going to give a little brief overview on what transpired for you guys. Get you all set up for the episode tonight. If you remember what happened when we last left off, episode 65, we had the companions, in this case, Althea, Cassandra, Agatha, the dwarf Vugrunder, formerly known as Arthurian, as well as Chapt, exploring deep under the gauntlight. The party had decided to head south and do some further exploring. If you remember, currently where they are now, they're in this large chamber here. They fought some ochre jellies, defeated them, and decided to head south from the chamber. Chapt, for whatever reason, had decided to go north. By himself, in this case. Intrigued by what was in the room to the north. Using his dark vision, he was able to explore this area. As you can see here in that chamber. So briefly, while he explores that, we're going to see what the other characters were up to. They had abandoned this room and decided to head south, not knowing that Chapt had left them at this stage. They had traveled through some double doors, eventually back into a hallway. To the east was the Tavern of Ghouls. Traveling to the west, beyond these doors up ahead, the party had encountered one of the most grotesque things they've encountered so far. This nasty had appeared, with long tentacles all over its body. As the party would find out, these tentacles could reach as far as 20 feet, which is pretty much at the door when they had first entered. Immediately, they went into combat mode. Cassandra rushed forward into the room, getting behind the creature. Arthurian as well had rushed into the room, getting in a flanking position on the creature, so they were in a position to really do some damage to this creature. As they came into the room, this creature was able to hit them while they were advancing forward with some deadly tentacle strikes. But undeterred, they pushed on and started to lay into this beast. Agatha and Althea remained at the doorway, and from there they would support their friends with magic, and they did so. Agatha, somewhere during this combat, got a little adventuresome in this case. She actually entered the room, which was a mistake. As soon as she had gotten into the room, the creature had lashed out at her, dropping her to the ground, and all the other companions gasped as suddenly their witch was dropped quite quickly. She was, in fact, dying. Althea, as well, standing at the doorway, was also under attack by these long tentacle lashes. So it was not good. Now, this creature was putting the beat down on the companions, basically. And it was at this stage that Arthurian, the dwarf, had made a critical decision to pick up the witch, get her out of the room. And he did so. But, however, while he did that, it left Cassandra alone facing this creature. The creature was able to lay into Cassandra. Terribly so, doing some massive amounts of damage, of which Cassandra could not reply, using her monk fists and kicks. It was to no avail. Vugrunder would have to head back into the room. Some confusion set in. Althea got very worried, seeing Agatha drop to the floor, motionless. She cried out to the others, "Run away! We need to run away from this!" The dwarf ignored her and ran back into the chamber, again attacking this creature. Cassandra, after taking such a beating, had fallen away to the shadows of the corner of the room where she was kind of protecting herself with the chains. But then as soon as the dwarf returned, she too as well, with a last gasp, rushed forward to help the dwarf in overcoming this creature. The creature was taking a beating as well at this stage, but the companions were far worse off than it. Cassandra was felled, and her body was lying motionless. approached just briefly with magic in mind, was also attacked fatally by these long tentacles, and she was dying. Side by side with Agatha at the doorway they lie. The dwarf was the last to fall, as the creature was able to focus its attention on him. Althea at the doorway, and the dwarf was dropped. He was felled. The creature, however, was in no great condition himself, and in agony. He moved away from the companions to the southern part of the room, writhing in pain. He had drugged the body of Cassandra over to that corner. For what purpose? No one really knew. However, it was at this point, if we go back to Chapt, while he was exploring far to the north, he had heard the screams of battle. He got concerned. He heard Althea cry out, "Run away!" Fearing dread, he ran to find his companions, not knowing that they were dying. When he finally got into the hallway, all was in darkness. Only his dark vision could see the horror that was before him. He saw the witch lying motionless. He saw Althea, the gnome, at the doorway, also lying motionless. Thinking quick, he looked to the vampire, the witch, knowing that only harm spells would help her. He did so. He pulled out a magic amulet he had just for such an emergency, and he cast the magic upon her. Turning quickly to Althea, he moved towards her. He wasn't sure what to do, and he remembered a magic potion of healing was in his possession. And he reached to grab it and open her lips and pour it down. And as he did so, he looked in the chamber. He could see the dwarf lying on the ground with his dark vision. He could see in the distance, even beyond, he could see the creature, this abomination that had done this to his friends. He quickly turned back to the witch, grabbed her, and drug her body up into the room to the north, where she would be at least out of sight from this creature. Leaving her in that position, he ran back to retrieve Althea. And just as he had reached the door, suddenly he saw the dwarf jump up, screaming, "Run! I'll get Althea!" Without a pause, the goblin ran back to Agatha up the corridor, and he grabbed her body. As difficult as it was, he began dragging her up towards the room where they originally had begun, where they had met the ochre jellies. The dwarf had been in a dead sprint, and in one motion he lifted up the gnome, Althea, throwing her over his shoulder, and ran towards Chapt. And they made their way back up that corridor. They heard a screech behind them, obviously from this creature, perhaps in pursuit. They made their way back to the room to the north. They had taken Althea and Agatha and put their bodies, now breathing, the hope of life returning, on the tables in this chamber. One of the tables was pushed against the double doors to prevent entry of whatever might be pursuing them. The creature, perhaps. Not knowing what to do at this point, they gathered themselves and treated their friends. Cassandra was nowhere to be found, feared dead. Perhaps consumed by the creature. Chapt did not see Cassandra. And it's at this stage that we're going to pick up tonight's episode. As you will see, some new companions, some old companions from past episodes are going to make their appearance. Perhaps coming to the rescue. Who's to say? But this is where we're going to pick up tonight. Hope you guys enjoy. Hey folks, here we are once again, episode 66, Abomination Vault's Goodness. We're about to pick up where we left off from last session. Brief introductions. Let's start off with Rachel. Almost forgot. What's going on, Rachel?
Yeah, so today I'll be playing Sandara, and she's actually a very interesting character. She actually wants nothing to do with anybody else because she's kind of a loner. Trying to go in a very different direction than Althea, who was very much a team player. Sandara, sometimes called Cypher, that's just like a nickname to those that know her. She's got a rich background as a ruin delver, and she's quite knowledgeable on the Rose Guard background. So she's... We're not exactly sure because we haven't quite discussed it, but what she's exactly doing here. But she's possibly following along with the others because she knew these lower levels were a little bit more dangerous. But she is an elven bard who also doubles as a rogue. So she's definitely used to being on her own, and perhaps once was in the limelight as a bard and then decided she didn't quite like it. But we'll see how she plays today.
We will. Thanks for that, Rachel. And then we've got Jesse, who's playing remotely. He's playing his backup character, Valifor, who's been in a few early episodes. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Jesse. What's going on?
Hey, guys.
Any hopes for Valifor?
Tonight I will be playing Valifor, my fighter. He is here to protect and to fight and gather as much loot as he possibly can. He is all about adventure and tactics and protecting the weak. So he will be a great asset to our group here. And I can't wait to get swinging again.
Yep. And of course, we have Dizzy, who's playing... Well, she should be showing up tonight. She's going to be a little bit late. She'll introduce herself when she gets in here. But of course, we have Kyle. What are you playing tonight, Kyle? What's going on with your character here?
Hello there. Tonight I'll be playing Bjorn. He was actually in a few previous sessions, way back. I only really played him once or twice and then brought Arthurian back, but I decided to give him another go. He's a very kind of mysterious character. He always wears a mask. He doesn't really have that much charisma, we'll say. But a gallant and decorated fighter, nonetheless, with kind of a unique spin to things with this one. I've been training up with Valifor and a few of the others, and I'm just excited to be back down into the gauntlight and actually have a purpose. He's going to be definitely an interesting sort of gig here.
Excellent. Sheppy, Althea, Agatha, the dwarf, formerly known as Arthurian, successfully made their way back to Otari after a horrible fight. And now, the remaining companions, Valifor, and the newest companions, I should say, Lyra, the champion, Sandara, I think that's her third or fourth name change, and Bjorn have gathered themselves together to continue the quest, to solve the mystery of the Abomination Vaults and Belcora. And now they've gathered themselves just outside the Warped Brew Tavern. In front of them lies the chamber where the vile creature was encountered. and put a hurt down on the other companions? To the north you explored. You found a almost hexagonal room, and there above the top and the ceiling was this large grate rusting and creaking. Very familiar sight, Sheppy mentioned to you. Familiar sight indeed, because Sheppy had been there before. Be careful, be cautious. Might collapse on you, maybe. So with that information, and any other information you care to ask Sheppy and the dwarf and Althea, you could assume you did that and you have access to that information. So here you are. What do you do? With you guys right in this middle corridor, just saw your friends off. Behind you is the tavern, full of ghouls. To the west is a chamber. You've been warned. There's a deadly, menacing creature. You could explore further north. It was actually that octagonal room had 2 doors that you did not investigate. At least Sheppy and those didn't. But directly to the west, beyond those double doors that are now shut, you know that there's a creature. A set of steps as well, you recall.
What do you suggest, Valifor? Cypher?
Well, from what Sheppy filled us in on, was quite the large creature that may be quite injured to the north. I don't know if it's protecting something.
To the west, you mean?
To the west. I'm up for killing it. I don't know about you guys.
Bjorn's just gonna look to Cypher. Are you down for a monster hunting trip either?
Monsters, I don't care for those. Just bring me wherever the treasure is. I need something to take home.
Another one who likes treasure. I like this one. But you have to split with me.
Indeed. So does that mean if we get treasure, the drinks are on you, Cypher?
She looks you guys square in the face and says, absolutely, I will buy each of you drinks and I will buy you a mansion. Whatever your heart contends, just let's go.
Mansion for a soldier. Soldiers don't need mansions. Let's be about it.
I prefer a castle.
Then castle it is.
All right.
I told you that he was the castle type. Yeah, Bjorn's gonna sort of lead with the light back into that chamber where we fought the creature.
Okay, just to get this all on paper here, from here on out, Bjorn, you're at the head of the column, single file. You could be side by side, but we'll just say that.
Okay.
Followed by who?
So this is how we want to do it. When the hallways are 10 feet wide, it's going to be Bjorn and Valifor side by side.
Okay.
And in 5 foot wide, Bjorn's going to be in the lead. I'll be right behind him. I don't know where the rest will go.
So you're second. All right, then we've got behind Valifor is going to be the elf or Agatha.
So Cypher is actually going to take the lead and go stealth.
Okay. Cypher?
Yes. Or
I
Sundara.
would say.
It says Sundara, but her nickname is supposed to be Cypher. So Cypher was meant to be for people whom she deemed was worthy enough to call her this nickname. Closest friends. Sundara is like her traditional name. Her full name's supposed to be Sundara Lorlian. So we'll just call her Cypher. Maybe I'll just update her token name.
Yeah, because I'm going to butcher that last name. I'll tell you flat out that's a
well,
tongue twister.
You don't talk to people by their unless they stick to their last names only. But there we go.
And what did you say you were doing?
She's she's going full stealth and pretty much scouting ahead.
So one or the other. So stealth, and then keep your eyes open, but you wouldn't be counted as scouting.
Unless
per se.
he got far ahead and into the darkness.
Alright, for the sake of rules, she's not scouting. She's just in stealth and ahead of the
Gotcha.
group.
Gotcha. Yeah, you could do that. But how far are we talking ahead of the group? Typically 10.
I'm thinking
20 feet?
I'm thinking 10 feet.
All right. So give me a private or a blind stealth roll, and I'll hold you to that. See how good you are at sticking to the shadows and cover wherever possible. We'll use that roll for that. All right. All right, now is bringing up the rear. Valafor, what are you doing for your activity?
I'm going to scout to the front.
Okay, we got a scout. Okay. And then we have Bjorn. What are you doing?
Defend.
Defend. Now you've got a light spell on your shield?
Yep.
So yeah, Cypher would have to get pretty far away from you to be in that dim light at least, so she can use her stealth. Because you guys are glowing right now. And we got a scout to the front with Valafor, who's keeping a sharp lookout to the front. He might even be able to see Cypher ahead.
Actually, I'm gonna change my mind. She's just gonna be stealth, but in the back, because, she's just gonna let them go where they want to go, and she's just following. Because I figured, how would they know, where each of them are going? So it'll be easier to just hang in the back, all the way in the back.
All right, so got that out of the way. Now you're heading for the door in the west. You're entering that chamber again? Is that the plan?
Yep.
All right, do you want to listen at the door or take any other precautions?
I'll take a listen.
Okay.
Any advantage we can get.
Go ahead, make a blind perception.
You can make one for me, too.
Oh, that wasn't blind.
It's okay, we'll take it. You can hear beyond the chamber the ruffling sounds and moans.
Are we really sure that we want to engage this creature?
The hairs in the back of your neck stand up, Valafor, when you hear these sounds.
Well, we still use pineapple, right? And remember that was the term for when things go bad.
I believe so. Are we really confident with our ability?
Well, let's charge it and kill it. Quick as possible. Take no prisoners. I say we go.
Once again, Bjorn's going to look to Cypher. Are you ready, and are you sure?
Well, Cypher's kind of hiding in the background. Give me a perception blind if you can even see her. As you turn to look behind you and try and find her. She was here a minute ago. You cannot see her. She must be lingering far behind, out of your light. Is that even possible in this corridor?
I think if she gets clear in the back, yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, she's in the dim light zone. You don't see her. Okay, open the door. You want to open both doors? Valafor, one's right in front of you. There's double doors.
Yep, open it up.
All right. It opens up and your light fills the room. You could just see in the distance, in the dim light, you could see motion. In the southwest corner of the room, you see this creature moving about as your door creaks open.
Can I make a quick perception check to see if it's looking?
It doesn't react. It doesn't seem to react to you immediately.
Get as close as possible.
All right, you enter the chamber. Go ahead and move yourself. Bellafor, Bjorn. That's a little too far, but that's okay. That's your destination. That's your intent. All right, let me see here. Don't move any further. All right, you get to about here, and we'll say right here next to the chains. Is that okay?
Yep.
I'm good with that.
All right. And Agatha follows in behind. And just out of sight is Cypher. Whoops, I shut the door. Sorry.
Oh, you left Althea in darkness.
It's okay, she likes the dark.
As soon as you get into the room, and I assume your weapons are drawn and at the ready, as soon as you get into the room, it begins to move. And it whips around and you can see its face, what looks like a face. There in the center of its body is this mutated head, kind of inside of its shoulders. It's just all hunched, one big blob of flesh. And you see this face and it locks eyes with you, Bjorn. And it doesn't look happy. It begins to make a loud noise, a moan, a scream almost. And that's where we're going to roll initiative, because it is about
Do we get +1 for scouting?
Yeah, everybody will get +1 because of Valafor's. Watch out, Bjorn! There ahead! See it looking at you! So everybody, including the scout, or the Cypher. And Cypher, you'll be able to use your stealth. You're going to roll a brand new stealth for your initiative, if you want. So you'll be using stealth for your initiative. Everybody else is using perception. The creature is first to react. It looks all cut up and bloodied. This creature, this horrible looking creature.
Hey, that's me. How'd you know?
That thing, you could just see what I mean by that. Look at it. Ugh. Nightmares, baby. It turns to face you, Bjorn being the closest in the room, and it begins to shuffle forward, making strange sucking noises as it does so, and stops, and it lashes out towards you, Bjorn, with a large tentacle, some 15, 20 feet away, attempting to slap at you. Gets a 33.
Not correct.
I'll leave. Okay, so let's see. I gotta refresh my mind. I think you gotta make a check here too. Let's do the damage for this. Mind lash. 20 points of slashing damage. Also, mind lash. You're going to make a DC 28 will check.
$1A4.
You failed, which means you are going to be stunned too. Alright. And it's going to lash out at you at the same time, almost at the same time. It's going to lash out at you, Valafor, with one of these tentacles. This will be its second attack. 36 critical. And you're going to have to make a DC 28 will save as well. First, take yourself 40 slashing damage. It is badly cut up and injured. And the will save, 29. You passed. You're okay. You're not going to be stunned. Okay. And it's done. We're going to go to the next participant, which is Valafor.
Okay, I'm going to move in and power attack it.
Do you want to go in the back or the front?
I'll get into a flanking position if I can, with one movement,
Hold on.
without making an attack of opportunity.
Let's hold on. I don't want to mess with that. Okay, so you're within its distance. As soon as you move forward from your square, because it can hit you from where you're standing right now, because you moved out of that, you are going to be an attack of opportunity. That's you. Gotta take risks, and here it is. 35, but it's not critical.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? What's your armor class?
His armor class is 24.
Huh? Another crit. Well, here we go. $46. You're immune to the Mind Lash. You can continue your move.
Okay. I'm going to try to get as far behind it as I can with one move. Alright, and then I'll unleash the power attack.
Okay, power attack. So you don't, yeah, you have that special ability too.
Yep. Basically counts as
alright.
one attack.
With no penalty.
You want to re-roll that using hero point, Jess?
Yes,
That is a miss.
definitely. Oh, and my retribution axe is going to kick into play too.
Mm-hmm.
33 for
33 is going to be a hit. And it did damage you. The skull on the pommel of your axe takes the shape of this mutated face. You're going to get a bonus of 2 on this damage. 20 points of slashing damage. Ooh. That cut deep into him. Give me a second here. Let me check him out again. Okay. All right, you cut deep into him. The thing is almost ready to topple over.
And for my last action, I will attack it regular.
Right. This one you'll have a -5 because of your power attack and your ability to not suffer a -10
Correct.
on your second attack. So you're at -5 with this one. So this would be like his second attack as normal.
22.
That's going to miss.
Okay.
You took off a few tentacles with that attack, but you are in pain, Valafor.
Yep.
Cypher, you hear battle ahead. You hear screams and the sound of flesh being cut open. What do you do?
Ignore the sounds. They sound just fine. If I didn't hear the sounds of pain, agony, and struggle, this wouldn't be the place I know it to be. She does stride up. And she just out loud says, "What a monstrous looking abomination." And she casts... Is it actually feared?
No.
Well, then she's going to cast... Actually, you know what? Perhaps she'll gain its attention? I have so many new options now.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. First, go with the character.
Yeah, it's a lot.
She breaks out her lute and begins to play a wonderful song.
That's coming, that's coming. Alright, well, she's going to play her instrument, which is basically like a little pan flute. She's going for the smaller the better, more discreet, but still produces a lovely tune. She's also trying to gain the attention of the creature because she's going to just throw a few words at it. And she screams after she plays. So she did inspire courage. So everybody can go ahead and add that, myself included.
Yeah, drag that to everybody's token. Kyle for Bellafor.
Yes,
Already did.
Everybody is very much included in the emanation. But she's going to try to intimidate the creature, and she's going to try to talk down. Like, we will destroy you and any spawn that you've created in this forsaken place. I will tie you in knots and devour your own flesh. She says some really nasty things.
Bjorn kind of gets a little scared.
Like, she's gonna eat this thing? Oh God!
Cook it first, at least.
I will eat you alive. And should you eat me first, I will eat you from the inside. Does this intimidation roll need to be public or blind, or how do we normally do it? I don't usually intimidate, because that was against Althea's anathema.
Public.
Public? Okay.
This one will be public.
So what? I guess it's will DC.
What did you get?
I rolled, well, total 20.
I got it. So you're attempting to intimidate him. What does that look like now?
She's just shouting and snarling. And you know what? She's speaking in Undercommon. She's speaking in Common. She even, of course, knows Elven, so she's speaking all of that too. And she's saying a lot of the same things, trying to reach out to this creature. She doesn't know what it speaks. Those are the only three languages I have written down for her.
You have Elven, right?
I do, yeah. So she's speaking Elven, and she's trying to frighten this thing, and like, you better crawl back from where you came from, or we'll send more. We will never stop.
It pays you absolutely no attention whether it's wrapped up in this combat with Bellafor or not. But as soon as you begin to speak Elven, its eyes look directly at you briefly. And then it looks back at its opponent in the combat. So whatever you did or whatever you said did get its attention, perk its interest, if you will. But you did not intimidate him. And he turns back onto Bellafor.
That is okay. I did the most important thing, which was inspire courage. So that's the end of her turn.
Bjorn.
I got one action, so I'm going to use it to get down here and flank the creature.
Yeah. Okay. It is flanked.
Flat-footed creature.
As he's moving, you can hear
Off
him.
guard.
Yeah. off guard.
He's off guard.
But as Bjorn moves, you can hear him cry out and scald. I don't know if anybody has scald, but he's going to cry out and scald. Our mind is not broken yet, creature. That's my one action. I moved.
And then at the end of your turn, you removed the 2 stunned because you pretty much took them by not acting because you couldn't.
Mm-hmm. So you deduct its value from itself, I guess, because you deducted 2.
Yeah, and that's at the end of your turn.
Okay.
Does anybody else have control of Lyra, or is it me? Let me take a look at her.
It's
I think
probably
it's just you.
Don't want to put her in shadow mode. What is she again? Oh, she's a liberating.
Yes.
How about you take a runner just a little bit, because she's a liberator.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more familiarity with that than me. Let me do that.
Yeah,
So she
Liberator
gets,
was the same type as Elias.
Yep. I'll let you make some decisions for her. You can check her out.
She's
Got
got good taste in deities.
Yes, she does.
She'll take a step around the corner here. And she'll have her elven curved blade equipped. Which I believe is a single hand, or...
2 hands.
Alright. It is two-handed. Alright, I don't want to bring her too close, but close enough where she can use her reactions, should the creature attack Bjorn. But, so second action, she'll actually sheath that blade and equip the javelin. I'm pretty sure this thing's near death. You guys have this covered. And she can't heal anybody and from a distance. So she just moved and she swapped out her weapons, and that was her turn.
All right. Round 2 begins. The creature. Okay. Give me a number between 1 and 6. Bellafor.
2.
It's swinging left and right. It sees it's got Bjorn on one side, Valafor in front of it. But it focuses its attention briefly on you, once again, Valafor. And its maw begins to open, unnaturally so. And it goes to clamp down on your torso. 27.
It's a hit.
Got a little break there.
Not critical.
Okay, it hits. Normal damage. Here it comes.
I'm down.
24. Valafor drops. You're dying 1. It turns back towards you as its maw releases the carcass of Valifor. It's no longer off guard, and it focuses its attention on you with a similar move. It's going to try and bite you as well. .32.
Hit, not critical.
Laelra is going to use her liberating step.
Okay. Put that in there. Two plus your level, so 8?
Yes.
Okay, so that's -8 from the damage. Okay.
And in addition to that, if Bjorn would like, you can take a 5-foot step. Or take a step, if that's 5 foot, 10 foot, whatever.
Oh yeah, I'll take a step up.
Alright, here comes the damage. You have a resistance 8 to this. So deduct 8 from it. 23 minus 8.
15.
Okay, not bad. Not bad.
That helped.
Yeah, it did. Champions, man. Let's get one more action. I'm gonna consult the Oracle. It's going to begin to back away on a roll of 2 and 6 chance. Let me do this digitally. 2 and 6 chance. It's going to begin to cower and back away. Maybe not cower, but doesn't want to engage you. 2 and 6 chance. Nope. It's going to continue to lay into you, Bjorn, with its final attack. It's going to use the tentacle. .27.
Barely hit.
You could ignore the Mind Lash.
Now that champion's resistance, is that for the whole round, or is that just for the one-time thing?
It's for the triggering attack.
Okay.
15 points. All right, you survived that quite well. It's done. We're going to move to Cypher.
She's going to cast... Three-action magic missile. So in total, 11 damage.
Cypher, coming out of the shadows, makes it clear her presence and her intent. Particularly with this spell, that she begins to weave in the air and her fingers thrust forward as if aiming towards the creature. And unerringly, these magical spheres appear. How many? 3?
Yeah.
3 appear before her, glowing in some translucent mist that pierce the creature. And it howls in pain describe how you finish it off with this attack, Cypher.
It is clear you did not heed my warning. We will slay you, you foul creature. And she casts the spell and weaves it intricately and then sends those bolts off. Flying
And as
right
each
over
one
their
pierces its flesh and cuts deep into it, howls in agony and pain. You almost want to hold your ears, Bjorn, from its screams of pain, and it begins to fall down on what looks like would be a knee, but it's not. It doesn't have one. They're tentacles that it pushes itself along the floor. And with one last horrible gasp, it collapses at your feet, right next to Valafor. It is dead. It is dead. Now we're going to stay in combat because we have Valafor.
Well,
Did we? No, we didn't skip him. So Cypher, you done? That was your 3 actions.
mm-hmm.
You finished them off. Congrats. Everybody's going to get a hero point if you survive. Or if Valafor survives. Bjorn, what do you do?
Reaction heal.
The creature is brought back to life.
No.
I don't think that was right.
1d8.
That doesn't look
That
right.
isn't right.
So
That's
you
not
3
right.
action healed. Was this your divine font healing?
No.
Was this just a regular? It looks like it was a regular old level 1 heal spell.
Right?
Then that is correct. 4 hit points for everyone in the emanation.
Why does Valafor say 6?
You shouldn't say 6. He died.
Yeah, so he's at 4 now.
Yeah.
Okay. He's no longer dying. But he's wounded 1. That's not too bad. All right. That'll take us out of the combat. All right. Well done, Bjorn. Everybody gets a hero point for revenge. It feels good, this particular combat. For our friends, it has been felled at last. Foul beast. Bjorn comes down with his blade to cut it in 2.
And then I'm going to break out bandages for Valafor. So, Valafor, you're going to get 46 back.
Nice.
Hey, so
Bellator wakes up and starts swinging his axe at it. It's not dead yet.
It is more than dead.
Careful, Jesse, you're at work. Remember that. There's people around.
Nobody around me.
Okay. Heard you moving around swinging.
I swear I did.
Great.
We felled the creature. But the question remains, if Cassandra was lost, where is her body?
Perhaps it was devoured. You saw the mouth
you
on
look-
that thing.
As you look around the room, where it was first encountered, right in that area in front of Valafor, you can see what looks like the remnants of Cassandra's clothing. There is no other evidence of her existence.
Bjorn will walk over and pick up the clothing. At least we have something to bury, I suspect.
Okay.
Valafor's gonna start looking through the refuse there, see if he can find any loot.
first round was only 10 minutes of healing. Does anybody else need healing? Or I take 46 for myself? Aside from Balfour, of course.
The two of us are fine. Tend to your own wounds before you start bleeding all over the place. What a filthy place. She just shakes her head. Cypress.
Indeed, you should have been in the upper levels when we had a room full of nothing but chains and blood. That was not a party.
Anchored shackles and fetters line the north and west walls. Bloodstains obscure the stone floor. At the east and south, 2 sets of double doors lead out of the room. 2 steep staircases beside each of them lead further below into the darkness of the gauntlight. The double doors in the east are the ones you came through. Which Lyra rushes to close.
This one's on you, Valifor.
Okay. Thank you.
These 10-minute each actions we're talking here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take a look around the room while they're doing that.
Let's search. Make a perception roll. If there's a specific area you want to search, go ahead and tell me.
She'll do it in this upper left, like the northwestern corner.
Your search yields nothing except old, rusty chains with caked blood. Like as if something was held here temporarily. Maybe this beast itself and it broke free. It's hard to tell. But the chains are definitely attached to the wall. And there's shackles on the ends of those chains to hold something. All the chains are like this. Blood is everywhere. You find an occasional old bone, a body part perhaps, to something that has been killed, eaten, or whatever. But you find nothing else, nothing of value. At least in this part of the room.
I'm going to do one more for Valifor just to get him up a little bit more.
Okay. We're going to count that as 30 minutes. So, Cypher, if you want to search any other part of the room, you search the room, basically. The only thing left is probably the steps. That's it. If you want to search the doors for traps, that's a different search.
Those steps go down.
Those steps go down into the darkness. Should I bring out the party token? I think so.
Possibly this creature protected the lower levels.
Indeed. But let us not be wary of the 2 doors behind you as well. I don't believe we've explored that way either.
I'm going to take a listen at the door that I was by.
Okay, give me a blind perception roll. You could just hear what sounds like the howl of a wind.
Sounds like wind coming from this door.
Now that I would not suspect. How peculiar.
Nor I. We're well beyond underground here. Why is there wind?
Possibly a way out, maybe?
Did we investigate or head down?
I'm going to put my hand on the bottom of the door. Do I feel any air coming through?
It's hard to tell, as the whole place is damp and cold anyway.
Okay. Are we ready to open it?
Bjorn's just going to look to the others for their input.
Is that
And
all?
are we ready to open it?
Sure, but let me back away a few more feet. I don't want to be caught by surprise.
Bjorn will go to the other door and open it in tandem.
That's what you see. A long corridor, 10 foot wide, enough for you to travel abreast. Bjorn and Valafor in the front. As soon as you open the doors, you feel the cold air, a breeze, hit your face. You can hear that somewhere in here wind must be blowing through, perhaps near the ceiling. But there's air coming into this chamber. It doesn't have a foul stench. Seems kind of fresh.
Is that doors all the way down through?
Doors all the way down through?
Those
I don't think there are doors there, Shep.
Okay. It's hard to tell.
Let me move you in to get a closer look. That's as far as you could see. You don't see the end of where this corridor leads. You don't see any doors except the ones you stand within. Seems to be an empty corridor. Except for the wind.
Perhaps we should check for traps.
You could do that.
Who's best at that? Cypher?
And now don't look at me.
Don't you pick locks?
That's different than finding a trap. And if we all use our eyes, maybe we'll find something, if there's anything to be found. So she'll take a look for any traps. But it's like heavily implying everybody else should also look. If her words didn't speak for her, she's just eyeing everybody down. Like, don't make me the only one.
I'm a soldier, not a trap finder. Good luck.
So, while traveling, what you can do, you can all do this if you want. It's the search action. And you could travel through the corridor. As you travel, you'll be at half pace, but you're all searching for whatever might find, including traps. All right? So if there's something in the area close by, I will make a check for you. Do you want to do that? Or one of you want to do that, or all of you?
I suppose we could all do it since we're taking our time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then you proceed south. You should be all should be clicked on the token, the torch. Let me zoom in a little bit. And you can hear this howling wind coming from above. You can see that the ceiling itself, which is maybe about 12 feet high, you can see it does have holes in it, kind of porous. And you could feel like a breeze might be passing through some of these, or a bunch of them. There is kind of a little whistle to it occasionally.
Any
It
light?
sounds like it sounds like it's a howl. There's no light that you see through these holes, however. You continue. Seems safe. Seems okay. You see to the east double doors. They don't look familiar to you, although there's a lot of double doors in this area. There's also a set of double doors to the south. Again, unrecognizable. You haven't been here before.
East or south? Perhaps we should try for the east.
Yep. East.
Now, Cypher, you're remaining in shadows, about 20 feet behind the party still?
No, when Valafor mentioned checking for traps, she's caught up to the rest of the
That's
party and instead
That's
decided to search.
Okay. So I'll put you in the rear of the group, close by. Just want to know where you are if something happens. What say you, Bjorn? South or east? You're at
East.
the head of the group.
And I'll take a listen at the door.
Go ahead, blind perception roll. Nothing.
I will then slowly open the door.
Oh boy.
You push the one side open, and there you see before you a familiar sight. Fully lit, you see what looks like the arena. On the far end, you also see the gong. You have been here before. You also see in the center this massive creature of tentacles and rotted flesh and debris mixed into it, refuse. It begins to move.
Shutting the door.
Quick. Shutting the door quickly.
Pineapple City there.
I don't believe we want to go that way unless we want to fight a giant serpent-like creature.
That's for later. We'll be back.
Abominations! We must kill them! We must kill them all, for the safety of all mankind! Screams the champion.
I'm not equipped to fight something like that. Yet.
You have to kind of hold her back. She wants to investigate more of this abomination that lies beyond.
Apples.
Bjorn will, or perhaps you need
Apples?
a test, a fifth test of my martial capabilities if you go near that door.
Yeah. The pain. She calms down.
He's gonna point with his shield to her south.
Okay, you come to another set of double doors.
I'll take another lesson, why not?
Okay.
To be on the way.
You're human, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're the only one listening. You hear voices. There seems to be a conversation beyond this door. You hear more than one creature. But you don't recognize the language or what's being said. But you can hear the tone. It's kind of a grumbling, sinister sounding voice. Something lies beyond the door, Bjorn.
And I will relay that to the group. Something's beyond the door, one or more, having a conversation. Can't make out the language.
I'll take a listen and see if I can understand it.
What do you speak? What languages does Velafor speak?
Have to look that up.
Common and Draconic.
Let's consult the oracle. This one I'll do privately. You hear the voices as well. Did you make your roll?
No, I was about to.
Okay. Let's see if you can hear the voices. Give you a bonus on this because of Bjorn. Go ahead, roll it. Yes, you two also hear voices. Although much of the words being spoken you don't understand. But then suddenly you hear this one voice speak with some authority and quite sternly. And it's speaking in Draconic. Clearly Draconic language. And it says, let me double check something real quick. Yes. It says, next time keep your eyes peeled on that corridor, or you should die as well. And that's followed with some more language you can't decipher.
Okay, we obviously have somebody in there that's guarding this hallway. And it sounds like they're waiting for us. From what I can understand.
Would you consider that an opportunity to bust in and get them off guard, perhaps?
I guess
Or
perhaps
maybe-
What do you wish to do?
We could always draw them out, have a few of us waiting there. We would need one of you to be the bait, though.
I can be rather obnoxious when I can be. Valifor, you take the others, hide in the alcove.
All
I'm
right,
gonna kick the door and bring them to you.
be safe. I'll go up. It's safer.
Yeah, Cypher's gonna stand in the shadows up top while you do that.
I'll make a big shadow. He's 6'3".
I'm 7'1", so
Oh yeah, whatever.
She's 6'7".
even she's taller than you.
She's like all legs.
Suddenly,
them
Valkyrie.
elves.
All right, go ahead and move yourself. Don't open the doors, but move yourself where you want to be the moment the door is opened.
I guess perhaps that's the shadows. Yeah.
40 feet away from Bjorn would be out of the would be the edge of the light itself. 20 feet would be bright light, so If you're more than 20 feet away, you're in the shadows.
She's 40 feet.
You're stealthing?
Yes.
Okay, make your stealth roll. Blind.
Before we do this, Bjorn's going to drop caltrops in front of the door.
What does that do? Count the terrain as difficult or check the fall over, something like that?
And they do damage
Lead?
too.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I suppose before we get into position, like I can help him just to speed things along. Yeah. Oh, not the space that he's on, the one behind him.
The square behind him?
Yeah, this way he's not standing on it. Yeah. That one, and then this one. Perfect.
Alright, ignore that one that you're in, Bjorn.
Yeah, and then I'm going to reach and look to the others. Sort of give them a nod. Are we ready?
Ready.
Is anybody else stealthing, or are you just using your cover of the wall, the corners?
You know what? I'll
All
stealth
for 'em.
too, just so they don't see me.
Alright. Whoops.
Yes,
Yeah.
just lure them back out. So basically come in my direction as soon as you open the door.
Bjorn will nod to her. Just make sure you're out of sight and hidden. We'll take care of the rest. Yeah, once I get the nod from everybody, I'm going to open both doors and start running my mouth.
You're kicking it open, or are you just peeking in slowly?
I'm going to sneak open the one that's directly across from me, and I'm going to kick in the one that I'm standing in front of.
Alright, you can't get to it's full of caltrops in there. But you do manage to open this one. You kick it open.
Boy, what's up in here, fudge faces? Y'all want to tangle? Come on out into the...
Feel free to describe what you open to your friends behind you. Everybody can hear you.
I see a long chamber. Looks like I got a few creatures in it. Looks kind of almost like an interrogation room.
As soon as you kick through the door and you see standing in front of you, maybe 20 feet into the room, what looks like some demonic creature. It has some kind of halberd in its hand, and it looks gruesome and nasty. You see buckles around its arms. You see horns coming from its head. And there, maybe 10 feet in front of him, maybe more than one of these flying cherub-like, demon-esque type creatures as well, just hovering in the air. And they turn and they see you. And that's where we're going to roll initiative.
You
Anyone
didn't
stealthing?
go at the hideout as well as you thought you did.
Anyone stealthing can use your stealth. You're all... Yeah, you were searching. Everybody's using perception unless you were stealthing. Okay, who's missing from the combat? There, blump, blump, everybody's in there.
Hey, Dizzy, you've come at an interesting time. And if you're trying to talk to us, we cannot hear you.
Trying to get the thing to download.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Okay, I'll roll your initiative, Dizzy. So you get set up.
Basically, what we're doing is we're laying an ambush. Put caltrops down. I've kicked the door open, and we're gonna try to draw these creatures into the hallway over the caltrops.
It's 9 o'clock. Everybody take a 5-minute break. I gotta reload this anyway.
Okay. I'll be right back.
All right.
Sounds
Right
good.
back.
Grabbing food real quick.
Be better. 5 minutes. All right, here we go. We're about to start combat. We've got initiative rolled. Everything's set up. The companions have broken into a room full of demons. At least 2 of them, anyway. Seems like there's more. Let's check it out, shall we? Outside of the creatures that you see initially, you can also see this room. There's a stench in here. You see the walls are covered in blood all over the floor. There's not much furniture in here, particularly in the center of the room. Basically what you see on the map. I'll read more detail about this as the battle continues or ends. Okay? You can get a good look at this chamber. But there's at least 2 of these creatures in front of you. One of them is hovering there flying, a small little creature. The other one looks like a much larger, a little bit bigger than a man typed demon-like creature. I'll show you what that looks like.
You know what? He looks familiar.
Good, there's one on an upper level.
Yeah.
My cousin, maybe?
According to the other companions, watch out for demons. They're everywhere in this place, as well as strange abomination creatures with tentacles and other things. But yeah, demons is a thing here. You've seen a number of them. Different levels. First up is this one. That flying creature. See, in Pathfinder, surprise. Because I think about that a lot, too, when it comes to getting surprise in a combat round. Some games use that today. A lot of older games use surprise rounds. I think 5e uses surprise rounds. But there is nothing like that in Pathfinder 2e. It's very much focused on basically rolling your initiative and going with that. Initiative, if you can see somebody, they're not hiding, then you can react to them.
Since we knew
But
we
if they
were
are,
there,
let me finish. If they are hiding, they're not going to be able to attack you. So in essence, there's kind of a surprise there if your stealth roll is good enough. The only thing that really is obvious, an obvious way to represent surprise, is when you try to break down a door but fail. That allows whatever's on the other side a chance to get ready. Tip over tables, draw their weapons, get everything ready for whoever's trying to get in the door. But that only happens when you fail to break into the room or make noises that reveal your presence. They can prepare. That, in essence, is losing any kind of surprise you could get with normal initiative order. Really, where surprise kicks in is when you're hiding. And they can't react to you because they can't see you. They might not even realize they're in a combat round. They're monsters, I know. But they might not know. And are not taking actions against you because you're hiding. And then when the opportunity presents itself with stealth and sneaking, you suddenly come out and attack them with surprise, literally doing extra damage. That's how surprise works in this game, 2nd edition. It's just something that you try and actively bring about. It isn't a die roll and You get a surprise round where they can't act and you act. It's just another way of doing it. So, something I thought about quite a bit, actually. What'd you say, Jesse? Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, when we get a +1 to our initiatives, like we heard them.
You were all searching, I believe.
Yeah, we were all looking for Chapt.
No, there would be no bonus. That's a activity.
Okay.
But you know something was there, so you're prepared. You're not going to be surprised. But they don't look like they were prepared for you coming into this room anyway, so you kind of surprised them. I could roll diplomacy for their initiative because they were chatting with each other. Yeah. Okay. This flying creature, he begins to... He heads right to the door, and he screams to you in some strange tongue that you don't seem to understand. It tilts its head sideways as if waiting for a reply, which he does not get. And he continues moving forward at the door aggressively, spit coming from his mouth, his open mouth, revealing what looks like mandibles, almost like an ant. He attempts to bite you, Bjorn. Zzz, like some giant flying bee. What's your armor class?
24.
It hits. Clamps down on your flesh, where the armor does not protect. 8 points of piercing damage, as well as evil damage. Yes, you feel the bite of evil in the presence as the mandibles tear into your flesh, causing blood to trickle from your arm. Let me see. I need you to make a fortitude save.
I will hero point that.
Okay.
19.
Okay. All right, and let's see. It suddenly goes... You can make an attack of opportunity if you wish.
I will. And I'll hero point that. I got him, might as well.
And Red Vine's paid off.
36.
36. Ooh, that is a critical hit.
Gonna take 42 points of slashing damage.
Oh, you cut this creature down in midair right in half. And it just, as it opens up, the intestines fall out wet. They hit the floor with a slap. Yeah, you took this one out. Congratulations.
You get to bite me.
Lyra, you're up next.
Okay.
Mind you, there is caltrops laid in those squares with an X. You saw Bjorn put them down in those 2 squares.
For some reason, that's not showing up for me.
You're around a corner, right?
Okay, now I see him.
Okay. What is this condition on you? Oh, it's your blade ally assumed you took. So you've got your two-handed elven blade at the ready.
Yep, she would have it already drawn.
You would. Well done, Kyle. That was impressive.
Attack of opportunity. You gotta take them where you can get them.
Good use of that grapevine. Hero point.
I know, right?
I'm telling you. It pays to bring those little snacks. Especially my favorite ones.
Alright, let's see here.
Take your time, Dizzy. It's your first go with this character. You got this. Got the liberating step. Remember, support roll. That's your strength.
Her action, she's saying that she's going to actually use liberating step. Actually, wait, is he he's not grabbed, is he?
No, the creature's dead.
There's no damage,
Okay, good.
nothing.
Then I'll retract that action.
Do you want to wait and jump into the combat at a later turn?
We weren't
Right.
trying to ambush them.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
for
gonna
example, is you could wait while I draw them into the corridor.
yeah, I'm gonna hold attack.
Like in an ambush, you might want to use a ready action to attack, and the trigger might be, if a creature comes out that door, I rush out to attack.
Her
You get one action, so you'd probably just stride.
holding action trigger is going to be as soon as she sees Bjorn come back in to sight and the creature's chasing him. She's going to use opportunity of attack and strike.
Sounds good to me. So if a creature comes within range from where you're standing, that's going to trigger your attack.
Correct.
All right. Okay. Got a creature.
When did Bjorn supposed to go? I thought his thing was at the same, like his initiative was the same as Dizzy's.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that creature was first in the turn. Or in the round. And he got killed. Bjorn was next, and I forgot. And I immediately moved to Lyra. So Bjorn, you're up next. Before Lyra took any action, you had to go first. Good catch, Rachel.
I had some help from Kyle. he's like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe we
wait a
should
minute,
say
like that was
something.
just an attack of opportunity. Like, wait a minute here.
I think it was just because they both have. I thought it was because they both have the same initiative, and it doesn't quite matter. Although some game masters put like whoever has the highest dex goes first when it's tied
Well-
like that. But yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
By default in the rules, it does actually say that when there is a tie, the monsters always go first. It does actually say that.
Yeah,
There
but
you go.
a tie amongst players.
That's different.
Yes.
That's different.
Yeah, I'm gonna disengage and come back here, and I know that guy can see me. I'm going to rather provocatively haunt him. Oh, what's the matter, big fella? Can't fight in there.
Okay.
You're supposed to be protecting this hallway. I'm standing all in your hallway. And he's stomping his foot on the pavement there.
All right, so you spend an action moving. I'll let you ready an action if you want. Do you want to ready an action?
Yeah, I'll ready an attack if he follows.
All right, if he comes within reach, you attack. Okay, here you go. Lyra, you're done.
Mhm.
Creature time. You see another one of these creatures flying above the ground come through the door. It stops momentarily and sees you, and then continues forward to attack angrily. So it's hovering above the ground in the space with the caltrops, and it attacks with a mandible strike. Against you, Bjorn. You do get your action right now, though. Go ahead and do that. The trigger was him moving within range. 20. You hit him. Roll damage.
Gonna be 13 points of slashing damage. Can you see everything okay, Jess?
Yep, I can see.
All right, you hit him. You did some damage. Didn't seem to be as effective as you had hoped. It continues its attack with its mandibles. 29.
Well, no. Ignore that reactive shield. But, yeah, that's a hit. Not critical.
9 points of piercing and evil damage. Pierces your soul.
Hey, Dizzy. Just a reminder, don't forget champions have their like super awesome reactions whenever their companions or allies are within 15 feet of you, as well as the enemy. You can use that reaction to prevent damage to your allies.
Sorry.
That's what liberating step is.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
So it's not just like if they get grabbed, but it's if they just take damage too.
What is that, like a reaction for them to do?
Yep. So it can be taken out of turn.
So,
No.
with that happening, would I be able to react?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be your reaction for the turn.
Okay.
You always
Oh yeah,
use
that's
your
right. I
liberating
forgot
step.
you also did that that kind of like react. Okay, yeah. So never mind. You wouldn't want to do it because you'll want to keep that. Or if you sacrifice it, it's up to you.
If you want to use it now, you can.
Oh.
But you won't have your attack if somebody comes within range of you. So if you want to use it now,
I'll
you
use
can attack and absorb some damage from Bjorn.
I'll take the sacrifice and I'll use it now.
All right, put it back in this thing here. In the chat. You'll be using that a lot.
Yeah, and just remember, like every time Fritz says, like, or shows that an ally's taken damage, and the enemy and the ally have to be within 15 feet of you. So just keep that in mind, and always watch the battle going, because if somebody takes that damage and they're near you and you haven't reacted that round yet, you can use it. And it'll also give Kyle or Bjorn the ability to also move 5 feet, so that way he can like take a step back.
Alright, so with that happening, I should move forward.
So what'll happen here is that because he took damage and you saw it, you heard the screams, you look towards him, you call to Desna's power and reach towards Bjorn. And as you do, 8 points of damage that he just took, well, it gives him resistance 8 in this case, is nullified. So give yourself 8 back. And that's one of the strengths of the Liberator, right there. And you can do all kinds of things against grabs, grapples. It's really useful. All right. There goes some damage. Curses, curses, I feel the power of Desna here. The presence of good must be decayed. End. It says that in common.
I forgot to ask, were you ever able to figure out the aura? Since she has that aura of courage.
What's the range on it?
Let me look.
We'll have to manually do it because I don't have the auras in.
One moment.
Figure out how far that is.
I'm looking it up.
That was its first attack, right, Kyle? Okay, it's going to try
moved
it
and then
again.
attacked.
All right. "12 is going to be a miss. Oh, there's also a fortitude save. Another one. Let me double check and see if you're immune to that. Hold on with the aura.
All right.
Dizzy, give me a second here. Is that it? Yeah. Yeah, you're okay. You don't have to make that save, but I have to write something down. All right. That's going to strike again. Failed with that one. It's going to attempt to pull away, and it's going to attempt to demoralize you as it begins to speak in tongues, all kinds of languages, including common and languages you can understand, Draconic, I believe. It begins to curse at you in horrible ways, cursing your family and everything about you.
I don't speak common. Well, Draconic. That's Valafor.
Yeah, but you speak common, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of the languages that it will speak to you in. You understand him, right?
Yeah.
I thought you almost said, I don't speak common.
I don't speak common. I speak Warp Priest. How you doing?
Yeah. Okay. What's your will DC?
23. Will DC is plus 13.
And he gets a 21 critical. So you're going to be demoralized. And you got bravery, right? That wasn't a save for you, though. I don't know if that applies.
But it says anytime you gain the frightened condition, reduce its value by 1.
Okay, let me look real quick. Demoralize. Demoralize. Well timed taunt, cutting edge, but choose the creature within 30 feet who you're aware of and attempt an intimidation check against the target's will DC. If the target does not understand the language you are speaking, you're not speaking a language, or they can't hear you, you take a -4 circumstance penalty to your check. Regardless of your result, the target is temporarily immune to your attempts to demoralize for the next 10 minutes. Critical success, the target becomes frightened too. This was critical success, so you're frightened too. And does your bravery kick in? I think it does.
Anytime you gain the frightened condition, reduce its value by 1.
Alright, so you're frightened 1.
Since it's moving away, do I get my attack of opportunity?
It's not moving
Okay.
away. It's staying right where it's standing. And that's its turn. Let me see. Did that count as an attack? No. Better not. Alright, let's move on. We're going to go to Valafor, finally. Valafor, your chance has come. Do you strike and lash out now?
I'm going to reach into my belt pouch and pull out a potion, drink it.
Okay. 2 actions. That's 2 actions.
You open up my sheet, I'll tell you which one. The
Healing potion?
No, it's the wood skin one.
Bark skin.
Bark skin, that's it.
After you drink this bitter draught, your skin thickens like bark. You gain the effects of a second level bark skin spell. 10 minutes.
Basically, he gains
So-
resistance 2 to bludgeoning and piercing, and weakness 3 to fire.
Right. So, resistance 2, 3 versus fire and piercing. No, 2 to bludgeoning and piercing. Okay. There's an effect that you can drag to his token. Did you do
Yep,
that?
dead.
Alright, good. Excellent.
Yes, sir.
But for that to work, though, I'd have to target the token with the particular monster, and it would automate everything, but I don't usually target tokens. So kind of remember that. It's on your token anyway.
Okay.
It's not hard to forget.
And then I'm going to move right in front of the champion. Right there. I'm good.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Tillin. Cypher.
I know I went back and forth with a few names, but I did update it so it should appear correctly next time. I guess when I changed it one place, I didn't change it everywhere.
So what is the name then? Is it
It
Cypher?
is
Should we go
Cypher,
with that?
yeah.
Okay. I know they're all your names. But silly elves. I'll refer to you as Cypher.
Figured Cypher rolls off the tongue a little better than Tillin. That, and I had a different character image in mind for the other person. So deep in the shadows of this hallway where you saw Cypher kind of disappear into, a bright red flame appears from her hands and targets the creature here. So essentially I've cast Reach and then produced Flame.
Ah, nice. Giving it a bigger range?
Yeah, so I can reach it with Reach, my Reach ability,
Okay.
my Reach spell.
Alright, so you're attempting to hit him.
Yes, and I got a 31.
Alright. His armor class is a little better because of the crowded situation, but you do manage to hit him, in fact. Yeah, you got a normal hit on him. You almost got a crit.
Yes, so that is 11 fire damage.
11 fire. Alright, so stepping out of the shadows, revealing yourself, you do your incantations and thrust forward this this glowing fire at a range that seems unreasonable, but somehow you do, and you manage to hit that flying little cherub creature perfectly, and he just erupts in flame. But then as the flames begin to die down and disappear, it looks as if it hasn't been harmed at all. And it cackles to itself as it momentarily sees you in the distance with its vision, and you swear it locked eyes with you. It smirks and cackles.
He smiles back.
You do. So that had no effect.
Gotcha.
But you hit him. Alright, what else? Cypher, anything? Is that it?
No, that's it.
2. Okay. Next. You hear the sound of what sounds like loud hooves begin to approach the door, Bjorn. And you see the other door come crashing open. And there you see him. Whoever can see, can see. Right at the door, right in front of the caltrops is this creature. Now, what are the effects of the caltrops? Because he's moving through.
I can put him back in the chat.
Yeah, do so. Okay, hold on.
Guys, I have to go. I'll be back on later.
All
Okay.
right, Jesse,
Yeah.
we'll be here.
All right, see you guys.
He has to succeed at a DC 14. Okay, he's going to move into the square. Now he makes an acrobatics check or takes some piercing damage. Acrobatics check. Well, let me just roll this, right? Right off the chat window. Okay, success. Oof. He just barely made that with a 13. Oh, that's a fail, isn't it?
Yep, got to be 14.
Why does it say success? Let me see what he rolled. He rolled a 2 with a plus 11. That's 13. Says result, success by plus 0. Says DC 13 to avoid the caltrops. But in the text it says DC 14 acrobatics. So is there a typo somewhere?
Maybe.
Not sure.
Maybe it's written that way, but the underlying.
All right. Let me roll it again then, because it's right on the frickin' money. Let's see if he can roll it again. Let me just roll it. Free form here. Acrobatics. He gets 30. That's pretty obvious. Did I reveal his previous roll? Yeah, let me reveal that too. That's what he rolled first. It says success by plus 0. Acrobatics, DC 13. So we'll re-roll it and he gets 30. So I guess he avoids it.
Yeah, he doesn't suffer the bleed.
All right. Wow. He can haul butt. He gets right up to here and gets into, well, not there. Right here. And he's going to take a swipe at you with this huge glaive. A nasty looking glaive with all kinds of runes and evil symbology all over its blade itself and the handle. It's nasty. It's hard to miss. You will die. Oh no. He completely whiffed. He rolled a 1. Damn. And his second attack, he's gonna come back at you angrily this time. This time he gets a 20. I think that misses as well.
Yep, gotta beat the 24.
Damn. All right, he's done. Boy, you lucked out there, man. We're gonna go to the next round. I don't know if we're going to finish this combat tonight, but we'll see how far we get in this round. Bjorn, you're up.
I'm going to lay into this big horn-looking feller.
Fritz,
What?
with Lara having the aura of courage, it says you stand strong in the face of danger, inspire your allies to do the same. Whenever you become frightened, reduce the condition value by 1 to a minimum of 0. At the end of your turn, whenever you would reduce your frightened condition value by 1, you also reduce the value by 1 for all allies within 15.
Yeah. And what's this for?
This is her aura of courage.
All right, so because he's in there, it automatically just applies? All right, well then get rid of his fear. He has fear 0 then. Get rid of that, Bjorn.
Got it.
That's just something that always applies. There's supposed to be an aura that's always around her character. I have to get it so it turns on for her.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that out, but it's not working for me.
I know looking at my map, the monsters on here that have auras, it shows it. I could see it. They all have it, but I don't know how to use it for your character unless I use a module for that. I don't think I have auras loaded. I'm not going to do it now. Let me just quickly look and see if I do. Yeah, I do actually. All right, so just remember how far it is. Okay. Okay, Bjorn.
Yeah, same as before. I'm going to lay into the big glaive guy.
Go ahead.
30.
30's going to hit. That's a solid hit. It's not critical.
20 points of slashing damage.
20 points of the slash. The slash.
And then I'm going
You lay into
to
him.
attack.
Doesn't seem as effective, though. You do some damage to him, but it's a mere scratch.
And then I'm going to attack the pixie.
Okay, just come around.
I'll hero point that. 28.
I'm going to listen as I drive.
There you go. Rock and roll, brother.
Yep.
Cruising down the avenue. That's a hit.
All right, and this is going to be piercing damage.
Okay, piercing.
18 points of piercing damage on the little splitter.
Once again, the creature seems to resist the blow, but it does take damage.
Then I'm going to raise shield.
Okay, you're good. Next is Layra.
Alright. She is going to move around Valathor.
There you go. There you go.
Gonna move her right there. Going to cast Lay Hands on Bjorn.
Excellent. All right. All right.
Taking 18 healing points, and then she's going to cast Bless.
Thank you.
Now we're rocking.
She's going to be... Let's see here. Bless from beyond to help your companion structure. You and your allies gain a +1 status.
Who gets that bless?
You and your allies gain a +1 status bonus to attack rolls while within the emanation.
5-foot emanation, so all three of us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so drag that spell effect bless on all three of your tokens. Nice. So you're done. 1, 2, 3. You're done. Excellent. Okay. It's time for the little flying bug-like demon. He cackles. And looking at you square in the eyes once again, Bjorn, with its cackles, it attempts to bite you with its mandibles. Once again, feel the pain. .30.
Hit, not critical.
Ooh. All right, that's a normal damage. Let's see what that yields. It's going to be 12 points of evil and piercing damage. Yes?
A quick question. Liberating Step, is that multiple reactions or is that just only a one-time reaction?
It's a reaction. You only get one reaction per turn.
Okay.
Like an attack of opportunity by a fighter would be his reaction. It's his one reaction.
Alright, I want to get...
Feats might give you more reactions. I doubt it, but there's you can only do one reaction in a turn.
Alright, I wanted to make sure about that before I try anything.
In a round, I should say. Okay. All right, so you fought that off. Or you took that damage. It's going to try and bite you again. And poor effort there. And all right, let's give him a third attack. I know, waste of time, but he's going to try it. He's relentless with his bites. No, it fails miserably. He's done. It's going to go to Valafor. What do you want to do, Valafor? Be careful driving and thinking.
Yeah.
It's just as bad as texting and driving.
Okay, so how close is the big bad guy?
About 5 feet in front of you.
Yeah, there's a 5-foot gap.
So it's
Okay.
10 feet.
I'm going to move that one square, and I'm going to hit him with a regular attack, and I'm going to attempt to knock him down. First thing I have to do is I have to hit him. So, hit him, Kyle.
29.
That is a hit. It's not critical.
Okay, so he takes the damage.
13 points of slashing damage.
Okay,
All
and
right, is
then,
this a magical? Hold on a second. Is this a magical attack?
no,
Yes,
well,
the
yeah,
axe of retribution, yeah.
All right, that's magical. Okay.
you have to link knock down the feet. I think it's an acrobatics test for me.
Yeah, I'll link it.
Make an attack to knock a foe off balance, then follow up immediately with a sweep to topple them. Make a melee strike. If it hits and deals damage, you can attempt an athletics check to tip the creature you hit. Trip the creature you hit.
Don't forget,
If you're wielding a
Go ahead.
if you're wielding a two-handed melee weapon, you ignore the trip's requirement that you have to have a hand free. Both attacks count towards your multi-attack penalty.
I was just going to say also, don't forget you have Bless as well.
I will use that for my acrobatics test.
You can't use it on your acrobatics. It's only for attack rolls.
Okay, well, just rolling acrobatics then.
You got a 2. You want me to hero point it?
Yeah.
27.
I think I got it.
This is the trip 'em?
Yep. He also takes damage from the hit, too. Don't forget that.
You got a 27. Yeah, that successfully trips him. So what, am I prone?
Wrong.
Yeah.
I can't see it. It's so small. Where is the prone? That one? That one. It's the blue things. Looks like a Tiffany's box. All right, so with your first blow, you strike into him, you attempt to trip him with it, and you do catch him behind his legs. You pull him so that he falls backwards onto his back with a crash. So he is now prone.
Hey,
You have one more action.
My
Oh,
left.
no, you moved. You moved, so you're done.
Well, that was only 2 actions.
Yeah, but you had to
Didn't
take a
you
5-foot step to get down there.
I didn't know that. All right, I'm done.
Okay. Next.
No, wait a minute. Wait a
is-
minute. That's only 1 action for that attack trip. Wouldn't that be 2?
Yeah, I think that's what you're trying to do. You make an attack to knock the foe off balance, then follow up immediately with a sweep to topple them. So it's all 1 action. You just use that with your attack, which is what you did. So you made your attack roll, take damage from that. I'm not sure we did the damage for it. But we also resolved the trip. Okay, we did that. So yeah, you have 1 more action.
Okay, and for my last action, I'm going to power attack it while it's prone.
Power attack, you're going to have a minus something on that.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna have a -5 on it.
Just minus, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a second attack.
Right. My feat lets me do it at a -5 instead of -10.
Oh boy, your character's confusing. But you're right. Yeah, you've got an ability to avoid the penalty for power attack. So. Oh, 32. Wow. Plus he's prone. He's flat-footed. Off guard, I should say. So his armor class should be... Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. You got a critical hit.
Oh, that's nice. I haven't had a crit in a
Yeah.
while.
That was really well done. 22 points
22 points.
And don't
of
forget,
slashing.
did we do the damage for the first hit? I don't think we did.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Okay, just make sure.
We did. And just as you come down upon him to apply what looks like a finishing blow, you let out a scream of battle, and you lay into this creature, but somehow it seems like his flesh is made of iron. You only cut so far into it, and it appears as if it's only a scratch. You didn't do as much damage.
It is magic at the damage.
You damaged him nonetheless, but
Okay.
you didn't do as much as you had hoped.
All right, now I'm done.
No, you're not. You have critical specialization.
Yep, I can attack the cherub with the same roll that I just made to hit the demon.
Yep, so choose 1 creature or creation adjacent to the initial target within reach. If its AC is lower than your attack roll result for the critical hit, you deal damage to that creature equal to the result of the weapon damage die you rolled. The amount isn't doubled.
Balfour is one dangerous dude.
He's been practicing.
Yeah.
Is that it, or?
I think I got to roll 2d12 plus 4 for the pixie. The pixie takes 18.
What is this from?
It's from my critical specialization with my axe. When I hit with a critical, everyone around me gets hit as well with the axe.
Automatically?
It says choose 1 creature adjacent to the initial target within reach. If its AC is lower than your attack roll result for the critical hit, you deal damage to that creature equal to the result of the weapon damage die you rolled. He rolled 2. This amount isn't doubled, and no bonuses or other additional damage dice apply.
Oh, no, wait. Oh. Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. Yes, you destroyed this one. Oh. Gotta count resistances and stuff. Yeah, you cut him out of the air with your swipe as you knock down the other creature. You managed to catch this one as well and take it out of the air. It is no more.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Very, very well done, Bellafor. Back to the elf. Cipher, we'll call it after this round. Right, Rachel?
Yeah.
You're pretty much done?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, the Cypher just kind of comes forward about 15 feet. Now, is there any debris in this hallway?
Yeah, you can find some little things like stones and nothing major.
Okay. So she's going to cast telekinetic projectile, and since they're stones, we'll do bludgeoning. And she'll use this to hurl one of them at the horned guy. So.
All right.
Oh shoot! I think I double clicked. I did. We'll take the first one. Oh heck yeah! We'll take the first one.
Wow.
Damn.
I'm glad I quickly said it either way, but what does select? Select other variant might be to like change your mind and not do bludgeoning.
Yeah, it's like either selecting piercing or slashing.
Yeah. All right. So I'll take it. This was a success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with that little stone pebble.
Right in the eye.
She hurls it, yeah, right between the eyes. And then it has
18 points of bludgeoning.
and then double it, so 36.
36.
Damn.
Boy, that went in his eye.
That was a gun.
I think he's going to be
That was
blinded.
a good shot.
Yeah.
was like,
Especially when he's laying prone. And you're standing in this big hulking 6'2" or whatever you are, standing in front of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, as he peeked up his head, you caught an opportunity and you flung what looks like a small pebble right in his eye itself,
Yeah.
doing 36 points of damage.
Yeah, all bludgeoning, no magic.
No magic. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Well, it actually wouldn't matter against him. So let's deduct some damage.
Yes, but whether the beast stands or not, it is the end of her turn.
Okay. So it's hard to tell if that did as much damage as you expected, because it actually did more damage than you expected, regardless of any resistance he might have had. Wow. He reels in pain, in fact, and his arms drop his glaive for a second, and he grabs at his eye, and he's holding it. He lets out this terrible scream of pain and agony, and you can see this black ichor coming from his hands, Valafor. You see this, what looks like blood just coming from behind his hand, dripping all over him. Whatever just struck him was really bad. And he's next, so we'll finish him and then we'll call the session.
Okay.
First thing he does is he wildly gets up from being prone.
Attack of
Go
opportunity.
ahead. Go ahead.
opportunity from both of us.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
He's so
Oh.
screwed.
Yeah.
One at a
36.
time. One at a time. Bjorn gets a 36. That is a critical hit. We'll do Valafor regardless.
42 points of slashing damage.
42 slash minus resistance. Okay, so how about you, Valafor?
Give her a roll.
Mr. Oakskin?
38 critical hit.
Wow. Another
That
nat
is
20.
a critical hit.
Double crit.
Oh boy.
On you
With
fucking
the
fighters, no
retribution
worse.
axe. Only 14.
Yeah, only 14 points of slashing damage.
Oh, okay.
Still a lot.
Did he damage you yet? Did he damage Bellafor yet? I don't
No,
think so.
no, he didn't.
All right, so the
Yes,
magic
no
effect
damage,
doesn't kick in. All right, minus resistances, if any. Let's see who gets the kill. It's pretty obvious. Well, he only has 5 hit points. So I think together you both smash into this thing, cleaving into him. Particularly you, Bjorn. However you want to describe this, you both finish him off quite effectively. Go ahead and describe it, Bjorn and Jesse.
Double fighter scissor attack.
Oh,
Yeah, as Balfour sort of cleaves into the right side of his breastplate, Bjorn comes in with a hellacious strike, severing from the top of the creature's left collarbone and ending it beneath its right ribs, and that half of it just falls off its body and crashes to the ground. He literally splits the
Wow.
creature in half and then kicks it for good measure.
wow. Boy, these guys didn't have a chance against you, honestly. That is pretty crazy. All right, so as far as you know, the combat ends, but we'll keep the initiative here. Okay, you finished them off. Congratulations.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, damn good teamwork there.
Good job. Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll call the session now. We'll go into the details in the next session. We'll pick up from there. If you want to search the body, pick up the glaive, search the room, we'll do all that in the next session, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do our outros. Great game, by the way. That was a fantastic way to end it.
I'm almost home, so I'll do mine first.
Go ahead, Jess.
Hey guys, great session. We really got to introduce our new characters here, and I think we kicked royal behinds tonight, and had a lot of fun. And can't wait to do it again next Sunday.
Yep, awesome. Thanks, Jesse, for playing. How about you, Rachel? Number 1.
Yeah. Just glad we got some revenge. And then some. You know, a little down the hall. It was fun testing out the new characters. It'll be great to see. Well, it was fun seeing the new characters in action, and then the old characters just come back and completely kick butt. That's always fun. Well, yeah, we'll see how we're gonna move forward from this. But I'd be down continuing to play Cypher or however we decide. But today was a good session.
Excellent. How about you, Dizzy? What do you think?
The fact that I was actually able to do more good than I was able before feels a lot better. Still gonna have to get used to the fighter, but I don't mind it. But I'm definitely enjoying it now that I'm able to see what I can do.
You mean the champion? Yeah. You did good. Excellent. And who did I leave out? I forgot somebody. Kyle.
Kyle,
I can't forget Kyle.
Hey now, I'm your, like your Doctor Honor buddy. We play games every single night. Like, come on now, Fred.
It's terrible.
Yeah, guys, that's going to be it from me. Really, really enjoying the synergy we have now in this group of her sort of Cypher sort of in the back, helping out with range and spells. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really good stuff there. Lyra, fucking on point with the bless and the liberating step and lay on hands. Absolutely fantastic. Loving that. Getting to see Valifor in action. I mean, we talked about this for how long now, Valifor? And, get to see him in action there. And then, of course, I get to return to a character that circumstances evaded and I wasn't able to play. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying this.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, everybody. We're going to be back next week. I'm going to have another session. It'll be episode 67. Fantastic. Good fun. All right, folks. We'll see you next week then. So until next time, folks, hang in there, because it's only going to get better. Talk to you soon.